Hello, David Zritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. We've got a really good video for you today because it has a little bit of everything. It has a great brand story. It's got a lot of things from No Time to Die. It's got that sartorial essence. It's got brushes with celebrity. It's got crime, sex, drugs. All right, it doesn't have those last three, but all those other ones it has. So prepare yourself, buckle up. This is going to be a good one. We've got to talk about why I'm wearing this outfit. Let me back up a little bit so you can appreciate the detail that I do for you. I'm wearing the Tom Ford pants. I've got the Sperry shoes on. I've got the Barber jacket. I've got the Tommy Bahama shirt. Why am I recounting all this? I even have the No Time to Die watch on. Hello. Why? Why am I talking about that? Because this is about an item that is directly from a scene that we have just had a glimpse of. We've had a glimpse of in the latest trailer. It's a blink and you miss it moment. But there we have it. And it's an important scene that took the Bond community that focuses on clothing and brands and sartorial aspects and just started to whip them into a frenzy. Why? Because it's got Paloma, who we haven't even met yet on screen, and yet we've all kind of have a major crush on her. And she's just glowing with glee in what's clearly a nod back to Casino Royale, where holds up the Tom Ford Atticus tuxedo right in front of him. So clearly, if we could just be small detectives for a moment and paint the dots, Bond obviously goes to Cuba. He's in Cuba. He goes to this bar. He saddles up to this woman wearing this long, amazing dress. It's Paloma. You're late. Here I am. Whips around, probably invites him to a party. And we've seen little glimpses of that party where he's dressed in a tuxedo. I've got no tuxedo. Look where I just came from Jamaica. I'm not dressed for the occasion. Maybe he says, but he's dressed like this. And what does she do? She whips out this incredible suitor holdall, and out rolls the Atticus tuxedo shirt. And look how happy she is. She's so happy. And here's what happens. The brand associated with that incredible holdall has been identified. And probably a little bit ago, because there's a story to this brand. First of all, the brand itself. The brand itself is called Bennett Winch. It is a made in England brand. And let me just stop for a moment, because that doesn't mean that the brand is made, created, lives in, has an office in, look at the rabbit ears going nutty cuckoo here, in England. It's more than that. Their items are made in England, and we're going to get to that in a moment to show proof of concept of what I'm talking about with that. But we need to talk about the brand. The brand is the child, if you will, the vision of two individuals, Robin Winch and Robin Bennett, Robin squared, that really thought to themselves, we're minimalists. We like things that are simple, but if you're going to invest in something that is of a sartorial nature but luxury, and you're going to make an investment, that means a couple shekels, then we want it to be great. We want you to just get one. You don't need 1,000 pieces. You need one really good piece. And that was their vision that sparked this brand way back in 2014. It's a baby in the sartorial world where you have all these brands that are from the 1700s and the 1800s, but that's not a bad thing. These two individuals have really got interesting stories that fuel the passion, and we're going to be talking about one of those stories. How did this happen? How does an item like this get into No Time to Die? We've got all the details directly from them, the source, and we have the item here. We're going to do an unboxing, but first the story. Now listen, if you just want to see the item and you're like, David, we don't need to hear you pontificate or tell the story, you can fast forward, but you're going to miss a really good story. Okay, so here we go. First of all, this was going back about, and I have cheat sheet. I'm 52, I forget things. 2 years ago. So Robin Bennett and Robin Winch were in their Duke Street store in Mayfair, London. And three individuals came in, identified themselves as people from a studio. No more rabbit ears, just a studio. What happened is they were there for a meeting, but the store manager came downstairs. Three people said, we'd like to see your items. They took them through the items. It was a costume and prop team. That's a really good start. And they were looking specifically for British items for a major film. They did not identify the film, but they showed them the entire range and kind of laid it all out for them. 3 weeks later, they had an email that said, and asked a very simple question, can they purchase the leather weekender bag that they had seen? And can they also purchase the SC holdall? So the holdall that they sorted out for them before, the olive one, and that transpired. So they sorted that out, they got it set. Ready for this? A few months later, that contact explained that he was working on a Bond film. Bum, bum, bum. Major explosion. But here was the most exciting thing. They had a show and tell. This is what happens in the movie world. They basically find out what pieces are they interested in, and then they show them to the star, the producer, the costume designer. This was no different. They basically showed these two items to Daniel, as in Daniel Craig, and the director, Cary Fukunaga, and Daniel called out the SC holdall. He said that he loved it. He loved specifically the wrap around suit feature, which we're going to show you. And obviously the director liked the concept as well, because they pulled the trigger. They sent back the Weekender. Don't need it. Don't want to talk to it. But they kept the SC holdall. Months later, so I mean, look how this transpires. This started 2 years ago. Months later, they said, basically, when they said that they informed us, meaning them, that it was going to be used in the film. But they couldn't say where, and this company didn't know where it was going to be. And here's a little interesting item. This is with all the brands. They really can't talk about their brands in association with Bond until there's something that manifests itself, like seeing it in a trailer, seeing it in a movie, etc. Because they need that proof. Well, the proof came in the trailer that we just talked about earlier. It was incredibly exciting for them. They noticed the cool shot of Anna, and then boom, the day after, that's when all the emails started flooding in and things like that. But they knew they had something from Bond beforehand, and we've been in communication way back when. And we were all so excited because now they can actually talk about their fingerprints, their DNA on Bond history. And why? Because we know, being in this kind of hobby of ours, this world, this community, this sartorial Bond community, that what happens is when a brand becomes associated with Bond, they're forever changed. I literally walked in with Tom Ford, Barber, Tommy Bahama, Sperry's, Omega. Some of them have been around for a while, but some of them are newly appointed as part of the Bond sartorial history. So welcome Bennett Winch, made in England. All right, let's jump right to it. We've got a box to open up. Yeah, that is, clink. That's not a small box. I don't know if you noticed when I brought it in. That is not a small box, but this is the box that it comes in. We do these unboxings so you can get an idea the experience that you could receive if you were to purchase one of these. So a few people looked at this and said, "Woo, you know, a little bit more than I would want to spend on something like this." So this is a way to explore it. And again, going back to their mantra of buy something once, you don't need to buy it again. Oh, butterfly knife. What's that all about? That's how we always open these boxes. We're going to do this very carefully because we never know what's inside. Mind you, folks, as you're watching this video, whenever you're watching these videos, I'm going to take this real slow because I know what this is made out of. I have not opened this box, as you can tell from the very precarious way that I am cutting it. So you're going to see what I'm going to see for the first time. All right, so this has come a very long way, but it got here very quickly. So we've got some black paper. Hold on, I've got it upside down. Don't rush, don't push, there's plenty for all. We've got a huge box. We know what's in there, with obviously the emblem and logo embossed in gold. We've got the two, what are those? Are those finches? Maybe they're finches. Sorry, I know this is probably picking up a ton of noise, but this is heavy. Lots of paper hitting the mic, and we are unboxed. Okay, so we've got this beautiful white box here. You can see the way it's clamshelled, and we are going to open her up. Let's do this. So we've changed the angle a little bit so you can see what's in here. We'll take off the top here and up. Hold on a second. We like these personalized cards as I rip things. Bennett Winch accessories are proudly designed in our studio in London, handcrafted in England, signed Robin Bennett and Robin Winch. I still like Robin Squared. I hope they adopt that. I don't know if that's going to fly in their shop. But let's lift this up. Hold on a second. We've got a small box. I believe that is a little gift from them. So we'll open that separately. Oh, okay, this is cool. So first of all, I'm greeted by this kind of twill bag. It's like a sack almost. And you can see the texture if we get a little bit closer here. Very cool. That's neat in and of itself. But I can feel that the item is in here. By the way, if you hear me straining, this thing has some heft to it, which I quite like. So let's start to open her up a little bit more. All right, we'll turn this around so we can get at the opening here. And look at this. This is literally just to protect this on your travels. Wow. Okay, so here is the sack. You need to see everything. And we'll put that down gently. I swear I'm being like a doctor with this. All right, here we go. Here's our first official view. First of all, the smell is wonderful. It is wonderful. It's basically different ounce twills. There's obviously an 18-ounce twill, which the holdall is made of, and the suitor itself, I believe, is a 24-ounce twill. I'm going to double check on that because I'm doing this by memory. In fact, why don't we go into some of the details of what we have, and then we're going to break it apart. The SC Holdall is a unique fusion of style and function. It's a weekend bag and suit carrier all in one. It's not only made out of their signature bonded waterproof canvas and lightweight twill, but it took over 18 months to collaborate and develop collectively. Sharp, understated look, mass a holdall and suit, but it can be used together or it could be used separately. It's designed to accommodate one jacket and one pair of trousers, and the suit carrier wraps around the central bag and is secured with magnets and leather straps. By the way, cue the demonstration video and prepare yourself for some really cool whistling. As opposed to the traditional suit carrier, the unique engineering and design of the central cylindrical bag means the construct minimizes creasing and eliminates the chance of your suit having a hard fold at the base, which makes perfect sense. You're not doing those hard angles. The outside of the suit carrier is made from the brand's signature waterproof canvas. It's 18-ounce twill, ensuring a solid structure without any added weight. With an external pocket for easy access to your essentials when you're on the go, the SC Holdall can be carried by hand with its strong handles or swung over one shoulder with a removable strap. A waterproof bag for your shoes or for anything else you'd like to keep separate and away from your belongings, and a slimline coat hanger are included as well. Whether you're going to a formal occasion in the country over the weekend or on a business trip or trying to destroy Spectre, the SC Holdall guarantees style and functionality that travels with you. All right, this is so sharp. And again, I keep going back to that smell, but there is this wonderful smell. If I turn this around, I'm sure this is the base. I'm getting way too close to the leather for anybody's comfort out there, but the leather just smells so good. All the components, all the items, as you just heard, are made in England. It's even welded in England. The zippers are made in England. The twill, the different twill that's dyed is made in England. I don't know if you're picking it up with this lighting. I hope you are, but it's really a beautiful olive. It's very traditional, classic style, not fashion. There are some olives out there that are a bit avant-garde. This is not. This is one of these that it would look good in the 1960s, 1930s, 1810, and the year 2048. So it's just not going to go out of style. But then you've got this really interesting pop of green on the logo that kind of does make it stand out, which is really interesting. All right, so I'm just literally, as you can see, opening this up. And the reason I'm doing that is you just saw on the video some of the details of it and how the magnetic works. I want to show you with my own ugly way of doing this what that's all about here in the real world, meaning my world. But here is the clasp, boom. So watch this, listen closely. I'll get close to the mic here. Hear that? Children of the night, they make such nice music. Keep doing the count. Magnetic, super cool. So this way it actually grasps on. Now, this is the cool part. Again, gently put it down. Hello, back again. This can be used in and of itself. So I have nothing in it. Sound like Doug Henning. Nothing here, nothing up my sleeve. But this can be used as a great weekender bag. It's just really simple. It's got obviously all the accoutrements to put the sling on it. It has beautiful, beautiful, thick zippers on it, all decked out in appropriate leather. You can see this has got some good sizing and volume to it. It's one thing I look for in a weekender bag is how much volume can I actually put in here? And we're going to find out pretty soon. But wait for it, wait for it. Don't rush the video. You want to go to the end, go to the end. All I'm going to do is ask you to subscribe and like at the end. All right, there, I blew it. I spoiled it for you. So it's not that exciting at the end. Stay here. But this in and of itself, again, it's one piece, but it makes up one piece overall. It's actually two pieces. Why? Because here is, cue Paloma, the suitor portion of it. Now I'm going to come back a little bit so you can see me holding this up and the size as I come a little bit closer to see some of the details. This is going to be the third time I say it, but the smell in my archive here is amazing. Like I'm really hoping, this is my new air freshener. I'm going to take out all my Glade plugins and just put out this, the Bennett Winch, because it's amazing. The SC holdall, it just smells so good. All right, so we've got this. This is where you hold the suitor. Now it says it holds one jacket and one pair of trousers. I think that's to create a slim line so it fits around this. And we're going to show that in practice very soon. But it feels like you could fit more in there than that. So it could be that if you're looking for a suitor that can fit several suits, you know, you've got to have blazers and suits, this might not be the one. But you've got these great zippers over here that open it up to the elements and to you to do your packing. And here's what I'm going to do. This angle right now is really not playing well to the function of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw out a theory. The theory is based on nothing. I know nothing. I don't know the plot. I don't have a script, and I'm happy that I don't know. I want to be surprised when I walk into those theaters. But let's say that Paloma goes, hey, here's your suit, and it's this. Could it be that since this is Bond's new suitcase with this, could he then, after that crazy Spectre meeting that seems to go horribly wrong, is this something that he would then use when he goes from Cuba to England, which again is all premise and assumption. We don't know that. Speculation galore. But let's say he does leave Cuba after whatever mayhem and chaos he gets into and heads off to England. Could this be what he packed? Now, if this was the real world, it'd be like, yeah, Paloma brought me this great tuxedo. I probably ruined it in some sort of explosion or fight, but you know what? I'm going to pack the rest of my stuff off. So if we think about what does he wear when he goes to England, well, we're surmising that he goes possibly to that garage and gets his Aston Martin. Maybe it's his first stop. He wants to see his items. Is it still in storage? And he goes there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make all those assumptions, and we're going to pack Bond's suitcase, essentially. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to have some fun now, because imagine, if you will, Bond is back in his hotel room in Cuba. All the mayhem is over, and he wants to leave. We're going to make some assumptions now. First of all, we've got the main bag, that kind of interior bag that the suitor gets wrapped around. Okay, so we're going to take that first. Now, when I opened this, and I got to show you this, I first of all came across this. It is a waterproof bag, and it's to hold shoes. So when you put your Crockett and Jones somewhere, or your Drakes, you've got to put them somewhere. And also in there was obviously the sling that you can put everything around you and run through the airport on the way to go meet M. I don't know who they're going to meet. All right, but I'm going to put the shoe back in. All right, we're going to start packing our interior bag, just like Bond. It's not going to be just like Bond, but all right, let's think about this. So he's going to England. He's going to his storage facility. So he's going to need a few things. I think he's going to take a white olive brown t-shirt. We think we see that peeking out. So we're going to put that in the bag. Pair of jeans. Looks like he's wearing a pair of jeans when he goes to the storage center. So we've got just a simple pair of 511s Levi's, and I'm not saying those are them. Okay, this is not an ID video. This is how much will this hold, practical application. All right, so I haven't even begun to fill it up. Not even begun, but this is happening real time, folks. We've got to go for his RGT jacket that everybody sees. And yeah, unless he's wearing this on the plane, you know, I'm going to assume that he got back in his Bahamas outfit. So many assumptions. Do you just see them flying? So we're going to take that and we're going to put this into there as well. Okay, you see where we're going with this? Starting to feel packed. I feel the weight. I feel the weight of Bond wanting to go back to England. And you know something? Hold on a second. All right, let's be real. Bond needs his DOP kit. He needs his DOP kit, so why not use the, look at that, branded No Time to Die. What did Yogurt say in Spaceballs? Merchandising. All right, so we're going to put this in here as well. So he's got his razor, and we're ready to close it up. All right, now, I look like I'm playing an accordion. I have lots of room. I have lots of room in here. I'm not even quite half full, so this can fit a lot. I have not even packed it enough to create the proper form to wrap the suitor around, but that's all we're going to do. All right, Bond's in a rush. I don't know. I think he probably created a lot of mayhem. So let's now, before we start putting it all together, we've got to pack up the suitor portion of the SC holdall. So look at what I got. I got a Tom Ford tuxedo. Now, for all you eagle-eyed people seeing it in this light, this is the Skyfall one. It's not the Atticus one from Tom Ford. Had to give that back after the review, but here's this. So we're going to put this into this, all right? Let's change angles. Okay, so you're seeing this happen real time. I have not tried this yet. So, okay, right at the top here, we've got a leather piece that holds the hanger. And I know this comes with a slimline hanger, but I'm actually going to use the Tom Ford one. Let's put the shirt back on, David. and the jacket. You're not in that much of a rush. And one of the things we need to do is to open the zipper all the way, okay? Make sure that the suspenders are in there. And of course, if I was doing this for real, I would pack this a little differently. By the way, here is the slimline hanger. Oh my gosh, that is light. What is that made out of? Bamboo? It's super lightweight. It's super thin. This should be the hanger that I'm using, but I'm really going to put this to the test, and I am going to use the giant, chunky Tom Ford one. That is just the way we roll. So I do want to get this nice and flat in here, and people are wincing. They're like, David, how are you treating this Tom Ford suit? I'm treating it well. These things are made to be worn, but let me straighten it out. Believe me, everything, gravity is going to take a lot of this away. So let me zip up. Okay. Now there are buttons galore. Wonderful buttons. We're going to button them all. And again, we're not editing this pretty. This is like a real thing. Okay. So now, relatively flat, what I will do is to put this here. Remember those magnetic buttons? I actually heard the clip. I actually heard them go tick. And then on this side, that's a very satisfying sound to hear those magnets actually click on. Okay, I'm going to keep that like this. Now I think I can actually wrap that in here, but you see these buttons, or these tabs right here? Okay, I'm actually going to undo the tabs on the bottom. I'm going to bring these up like so and snap them. And I'm going to do the same over here as well. Now, I think it actually goes through these loops here to keep it nice and tight. So we're going to do this the right way. Look at that. That just fixed all the lines. It was kind of a little bunchy, but now it's not bunchy. And again, you've got that very satisfying snap. We're not breaking away, folks. We're doing this real. This is as if you were packing and jetting off. Mind you, if Bond was on the run, maybe not the most practical thing. Okay. Now, we want to open this handle like this. Mind you, I watched that video once. Okay, I didn't watch it several times. And I'm sure I could have done this neater, but that was my amateur way of doing it. Look at how all of this is now compacted. All right, let's pull away for a second. Okay, there she blows. All packed up. The magnetic buttons are buttoned on here. You can see this. It's got a pretty neat form. I think I would probably pack it a little bit differently to get a little bit neater on the top, but from a side, back, underneath, undercarriage, it's looking the part. By the way, we didn't even call this out. As I mentioned, it's got this side pocket over here. Ooh, wow, that's deep. I just lost my hand. Probably goes up to beyond my wrist. Great for tickets, passports, wallets. Very often I'll have a carry-on that I just need something for a quick release. That didn't sound good. Just something quickly to release out of my bag that I can get to very easily. Could be anything, could be chapstick. Who uses chapstick? So that's it. I mean, that's a great pocket to have, but my piece is now comfortable. I have to make mention of something that's very comfortable. The leather around here. I have a lot of bags like this where the leather is not all equal. This is a very smooth leather and it feels very good in the hand. It's the right width for the hand. It's not too small where it bites in, and it's not too big where you're losing your grip. I'm trying to imagine myself running through the airport, trying to catch something, not a virus, but this feels very comfortable. And although there's a ton of stuff in here, I mean, I've got a lot of stuff in here, it's also not retching my arm, but it's really compacted everything into this little area. Weekend? No, much more than a weekend. I think you can fit quite a few days in here, depending on how judicious you are. Bond is not the most judicious of packers, or maybe he just has one of these Felix the cat bags that just has so many different clothes, we don't know. Or maybe David, it's a movie character and it's not real. That is a possibility. But this is great. I'm digging this. What do I like so much about this now that we have it all out? Let's discuss. So a few things to make note of. First of all, as I mentioned, I like the color. It's a very classic olive. It's not too avant-garde. It's a very classic type of olive that you know from a traditional standpoint. So to me, that screams Bond, even though clearly Paloma, or maybe someone from the CIA, does she work for the CIA? Who knows? Pick this out. It is still a Bondish piece of kit from a look standpoint. The lines are gorgeous. Everything's very smooth. I told you about that leather smell. It has an incredible experience, and the experience of opening it with all the accoutrements, all the amenities that it comes with, whether it's the hanger, the sling, the waterproof shoe bag, and yes, even the bag that covers this entire thing so it doesn't get marred up. Fantastic. I do love the practicality of it. It seems like, as we just showed you, it could fit a decent amount. We were not pushing the gills out of this. In fact, I think it would actually retain a better shape the more things that we put in there. And yes, we will be field testing this during the appropriate moment. That's to come. Not in this video, sorry. I do also like the fact that everything is made in England. I love the fact that the costume designers, the prop makers, the people behind production really said to themselves, we want something that is made in England, truly made in England, and that's exactly what this is, down to the zipper, down to the individual buttons and clasps, the things that are welded. High luxury, done right in a very simplistic way. The other thing that I have to mention is, I love the usage of it in the movie. It's a reintroduction of his tux. We know that the tuxedo is Bond's armor. It is his armor in every film, practically. But here it is being introduced as a frame, and this SC holdall is that frame. So the fact that it has that connection to No Time to Die, the fact that it has the connection to Bond and an introduction to one of his most important pieces of clothing, yeah, that just raises the bar as far as likability of this. Let's add one more thing. The people, the Robins, ooh, that's going to catch. The Robins, as I call them, Bennett Winch. They're good people. They're real. They were just as excited as we were that they're in a Bond movie. They weren't pompous about it. There was no ego. They were incredibly humble. They were very giving of their story and their journey, very sharing of it. They know there is a story to tell. And they were very, very understanding that there's going to be a Bond community that's going to swarm them. So they have been warned, but they're appreciative of it. Think about our best favorite brands that really do like to engage with us. Bennett Winch has all the potentials there, all the tropes that we know. So thanks to them. Thanks to you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. There will be other follow-ups because we are going to put this to the test, and maybe some of the other brands as well in the right moments. This has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience, and we'll see you real soon. Take care. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond Experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.